John Hanlon is here now to talk technology with us. Today we have the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Welcome, John.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We're glad you're here. He's got a great blog that you need to check out too, and it's jhanlon.net.
jhanlon.net. Yeah, it takes you to my Facebook page where I post up all kinds of stuff.
Okay, very cool. So as we kind of zoom in on the new products, I mean, this screen is huge. I mean, you've got a tablet here, and I'm going to hold that up just to kind of compare the two. But I mean, if you look at those two, that is a huge screen, and it's a very lightweight phone too, is it not?
It is. It's really lightweight. So this is the Galaxy Note 3 here. This is the iPad, and it's got a 5.7-inch screen. That's the big selling feature on it. It has kind of an interesting back on it too. It looks like leather, but it's actually actual kind of fake plastic or fake leather that's plastic.
Okay.
But the big screen is the big selling point on this, and it also has a stylus that comes out of the bottom of it. So you can pull the stylus out, and when you do, it has all these kind of pretty cool features that you can select one. And so let's do one here. So this is the Experience Michiana Facebook page.
It's one of my favorite pages. Please like it.
So when I select something, I can draw a box in the middle, and then it opens up another window. And now I've got a web browser right there within so I can still use Facebook over here, and I've got this second window here. So that's kind of a pretty cool feature, but the big selling point of the Note 3 is just the large screen.
Okay.
So if you've got, and it's almost a little bit too big for some people. I think there is such thing as too big of a screen. For me, it's a little too big. I would prefer just a little bit smaller phone. But if you have larger hands, or you have, if you make a lot of notes and use the stylus, this is the perfect phone for you.
You know, I was going to ask you, when you put that thing in a case, I mean, that's going to take up, well, half of some people's hips, I would think. And the other thing I would guess too is this is probably not the last one to have a bigger screen. They're probably working on something else.
Right. The Note 3 is kind of unique in that the Note series from Samsung is always the largest screens that they make.
Kind of what they're known for.
Right. It is for the Note line. Yes. Samsung also makes several other phones, but for the Note line, this is a 5.7-inch screen. That's basically the largest screen on the market for smartphones.
Okay. So as you're blogging about new developments in technology, I mean, what is it about Samsung? They really seem to be jumping leaps and bounds.
Yeah, they do. I think they make a really high quality product, and they push the bar. Like with this phone has a really excellent camera, and probably the best camera of any smartphone on the market.
And video too, right? Besides?
Absolutely. And video, this has one thing that's really unique is that it can actually shoot 4K video, which 4K, a lot of people may not be familiar with what 4K is. Basically, it's 4 times better than 1080 HD. So most people's TVs are 1080, but 4K is 4 times better, and this can actually shoot that.
Wow.
Shoot video at that. Now, of course, most people don't have a TV that's that good yet, but when they do,
I would be one of those.
When they do, Samsung is basically future-proof the phone, and so that's one of the things. Again, they're just always looking for that next thing.
You know, when you're blogging and you have this kind of information, what kind of feedback do you get from people?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, people are always looking for what is the best phone for them, and what's the newest thing out there. And I always tell people, there's so many choices now: Android, iOS, iPhone, whatever. And you should really go into Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, AT&T, whatever your cell phone carrier is, and try out the different devices and figure out which one is best for you, which screen size is best, which operating system you like best. Because I can talk about the cool features of this one all day, but if you pick it up and there's just something about it you don't like, then it's not the best one for you. So you should find the one that's best.
That's so funny because kids are the ones driving the sales of most of these. Got to have the best, got to have the biggest, right? I mean, in that regard. But the reality is, I mean, when Mom and Pop are using the phone, I'm really, a smartphone would be fine for me. Doesn't matter really the size, but I'm not a note taker and I wouldn't do the video. But the fact that someone who's a filmmaker might love this. Right? It's amazing that technology has so many other applications for people in all different realms of life.
Sure. And I think again the big screen is, like I said, is the big selling point here, and if you maybe have trouble seeing, if you're an older person, then it might be good for you.
Like Gordy. Just kidding, Gord.
Well, maybe. But there are a lot of advantages to this. But again, I don't think it's for everybody. And that's what's nice about these phones is, you can pick the one that works for you best. This one may be good for some people, but not for others.
Well, and that's something about your blog that's very important for people to know. And again, it's jhanlon.net. Make sure you check it out. Because really, John, you talk about don't buy something you're not going to use.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Think about how you use your phone now and what you could do to improve it. Right?
Absolutely. And we have this is an iPad here, and this is actually the previous version version of the iPad. But Apple just in the last couple weeks announced a new iPad that's for sale right now.
Okay.
And that's called the iPad Air. And there's not a lot of big upgrades compared to this model here. Basically, it is a little bit thinner. It's about a third thinner and a little bit lighter. But that's pretty much it. Slightly faster, too. But if you have the previous iPad version, this one, or maybe even the one before it, I wouldn't suggest upgrading because the upgrades aren't that big that Apple's done to it. But it is pretty cool. And if you get a chance to go in and try it out, it's pretty cool because it's so thin and light.
Awesome. John Hanlon, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Always great to have the latest on technology. So again, jhanlon.net. Check it out. He's got a great blog. We'll be right back after we take a quick break.